An all-new season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Mom Talk has just been blowing up.
Whitney and Jen are on Dancing with the Stars.
Taylor is a bachelorette.
Saying that out loud is crazy. Like, that is huge.
But all the cool opportunities could pull us apart.
It's causing issues in everyone's marriage.
My whole world is falling apart right now. It's chaos.
Watch the Hulu original series, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
This episode is brought to you by Cologuard. Do you know what's really scary? Not screening for colon cancer when you turn 45. The Cologuard test is non-invasive, requires no special prep or time off work, and ships right to your door. In just 3 simple steps, Cologuard takes the scare out of colon cancer screening. If you're 45 or older and at average risk, ask your healthcare provider about the Cologuard test. Cologuard is available by prescription only. Learn more or request a prescription today at Cologuard.com/screen.
There's 2 wide receiver topics we've got to discuss today. And guess what? Neither involve A.J. Brown. Well, directly. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is. Covering news, notes, and opinions on your favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, jointly produced here by the Eagles Pinpoll Podcast Network and the STT Sports Network on YouTube. Guys, wherever you're watching, whichever platform or style you're watching or listening or doing whatever, hit the buttons, like, share, subscribe, follow. You know the drill. The only way these 2 great channels continue their growth, continue their march forward to dominance is with your help. It's free to do. It costs nothing to hit those buttons on your screen wherever they are. I'm Phil Stiefel, and also tune in to Trending in the AM live at 8 a.m. for 90-plus minutes of sports talk and your opinions on these topics and so much more. We're going to get started. 2 big wide receiver pieces of news from the NFL on Tuesday. One directly with the Eagles, one semi-directly with the Eagles. Neither directly A.J. Brown related, but both loosely A.J. Brown. And I know I'm tired of talking A.J. Brown. I know, raise your hand like me if you don't want to talk A.J. Brown anymore. But until we know for sure, it's going to continue to be a regular talking point in Philadelphia with the Eagles. Is A.J. Brown, will he be traded or not? So, first piece of news, the Eagles signed Hollywood Marquise Brown to a 1-year contract up to $6.5 million. We don't know the full details on the guarantees. I'm expecting the guarantees to be fairly small. He is going to be 29 years old this season, actually in a few months now. He's been in the league for 7 years, first with Baltimore, a little stint with Arizona, and then obviously the last 2 years with Kansas City. His first year in Kansas City in 2024, he got hurt very early on and came back for the playoffs. I think he played in the Super Bowl against the Eagles in 24. He had a good rebound year last year, his year 28 in the NFL. He had 49 catches on almost 600 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns. He's still a fast guy. He's small. He's like 5'8", 5'9", still has that quick 4.3, 4.35 type 40 speed. You worry about the injuries. You worry about what kind of condition he is. But he is being brought here to be the wide receiver 3, which we know the Eagles need it. Losing Jahan Dotson, you got young Darius Cooper, and you got Johnny Wilson coming back from an injury. You needed somebody there at wide receiver 3, and Hollywood Brown brings that to you. A veteran presence, a guy that could take the top off a defense and open up the field for Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, etc. So I think it was a no-brainer move and a really smart move because he could play the slot and he could be that deep threat. But if A.J. Brown gets hurt, we've got knee issues over the last year or so with him. If Devontae Smith has to miss a game, he's a guy that could slide outside and play outside as well. So I think it's really good. I think it's a smart move. I don't see anything wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Love it, actually. So it's a great deal. We'll see what happens there. We'll see what the final numbers are. Also, in the NFL on Tuesday, the Denver Broncos and the Miami Dolphins made a huge trade for a wide receiver. The Dolphins are sending one of their top wide receivers, well, their top wide receiver because Tyreek Hill's a free agent, Jalen Waddle, and their fourth round pick, which would be 11th in the fourth round, to the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are sending the Dolphins their first round pick, which is number 30 overall, and their third and fourth round pick. So basically, Jalen Waddle for a first and a third and a pick swap in the fourth round. First and foremost, the Dolphins are now over $165 million in dead cap space. Poor Kevin Patullo went there to coach and get a fresh start. They ain't even got a roster to field. The Dolphins are tanking big time, probably for Archie Manning, but whatever. But what does this mean? How does this link for the Eagles check down the Philadelphia Eagles? Well, you just saw Jalen Waddle, who is a very, very good wide receiver, a borderline great wide receiver. He's had, in his 5 years in the NFL, just over 5,000 yards. Has not eclipsed 1,000 yards the last 2 years, right? He's got almost 400 catches, right? He's got 26 touchdowns. But he's clearly, without a doubt, a step below A.J. Brown. And if Jalen Waddle is worth a first and a third, what does that mean A.J. Brown is worth? Waddle is only about 16, 17 months younger. He's not the physical presence that A.J. Brown is. So it leads you to believe that if, and that's a big if Howie Roseman is truly shopping A.J. Brown, if the Patriots are truly interested, or any of the other teams, the Broncos are now off the board, right? You still got the Ravens. They got their draft picks back from Max Crosby. You still got the Patriots. You still have the Jaguars, the Chargers, the Rams. Even though it doesn't seem likely, there are teams out there. The price is there. I think this proves DJ Moore went for a second and a fourth, I think it was, and Jalen Waddle a first and a third. The blueprint is there for the other teams if they want A.J. Brown. If Howie's really entertained these offers, the blueprint on what he is worth is there. So take that with what you will. I still stand by. I'm tired of it. I just want it over with, but whatever. One final thing. We got the details on Grant Calcaterra's contract. Obviously, they brought back their tight end 2 again on a one-year deal. It's now been said it's a 1-year, $2 million contract with only $700,000 guaranteed. Now, Dallas Goedert got done on Sunday. Calcaterra, Johnny Munt was signed last week. We thought the tight end room was set. We didn't know what that meant for tight end in the draft for the Philadelphia Eagles. All these 1-year deals. Seeing Grant Calcaterra's contract, we all like, why is he coming back? 4 years here, never proved a thing, right? Well, this contract is so cuttable, $700K guaranteed. It basically says that Grant Calcaterra is not your tight end 2, at least yet. That the Eagles are still going to draft the tight end somewhere in rounds 2 or 3 to compete with Dallas Goedert or to compete with Grant Calcaterra, and maybe if whoever we draft shows something in training camp, Grant Calcaterra is looking like a potential camp body / camp casualty based off of that contract if he doesn't take some magical step forward in his career, which he's already had 4 years, hasn't done it yet, had opportunities and still hasn't done it. So thought I would throw that out there as well. We got lots to talk about on Training the AM on Wednesday, so make sure you guys tune in. But for now, for the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network, for the STT Sports Network, I'm Phil Sleffy. Y'all have a great night, great day, whenever you listen to it. Go Birds, and bubbles up.
Your favorite local grocery stores like Kroger, Ralph's, Fred Meyer, and more are now delivering on Uber Eats. Get 40% off your order of fresh, quality ingredients. Whether you just got home to an empty fridge or suddenly got a craving to whip up something new, you can get everything you need delivered in as little as 25 minutes. Get 40% off your order with code Kroger2026. Plus, members get $0 delivery fees. Order now on Uber Eats. Orders of $30 or more save up to $25. Ends 4/30/26. See app for details.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip-hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese. Best thing ever.
This episode is brought to you by Beneful. Dogs of the world, lend me your ears, snoots, and little toe beans. We've been sitting and staying for boring food for too long. It's time to demand high-quality ingredients, fresh from the pantry. Together with Beneful freshly prepared meals, we can start a mealtime revolution. Can I get a woof woof? Kick boring in the bowl with Beneful freshly prepared meals. Visit Purina.com/Beneful to shop now.
This episode is brought to you by Stouffer's. Here comes three-time juggling champion Natalia Rogers. She's juggling law school, her TA job. Oh, narrowly catches the laundry. What's that fourth ball? Parents unexpectedly showed up at dinner time? Is that too much for Natalia? Not with Stouffer's Chicken Alfredo and its mouth-watering mix of Asiago, Romano, and Parmesan. When you're juggling 4 things at once and the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's.